Welcome back. In this video, we're going to go over web components. Web components are reusable in-house apps. They have all the properties and all the things that you would associate with a traditional in-house cloud application, but the only difference is that web components cannot be deployed like a traditional application will be deployed, right? You cannot go to like a URL and then a web component gets pulled in. Rather, web components are designed to be used within applications. So, in general programming or just in the whole software development process, we have this whole concept of dry. Basically, do not repeat yourself. When you have components, when you have widgets that you think you're going to use across multiple applications and sometimes even multiple times in the same application, web components are perfect for these types of implementations. As you can see in this little illustration that I have here, we have two applications, right, that are using a web component that is a product list. You can even think of this within an application. You could have two different pages that are using the exact same components, but with slightly more dynamic, twists to their implementations. All right, I'm going to pull in an example from an existing app built on the Inhouz Cloud platform. So here we have an application, and we have in the worksheets, so you can think of this as like a timesheet application. We have active worksheets and draft worksheets. When we go to the draft worksheet page, as you can see here, draft worksheet, we see these components. And if we go into the active worksheet page, we see a component that looks the exact same. And this is because we are using web components. Here we're basically using the same components in two different pages for two different types of worksheets. That's a quick, easy example for you. So, like I said before, web components are just like your in-house cloud applications. The only difference is they are designed to be reused across multiple applications or multiple times within the same application. So in the in-house platform, again, there are two types of applications for the app builder, the web apps and the web components. So I have a demo app and I am going to implement or add a web component to my application. So to create the web component, I'm going to go to the app builders tab in my in-house cloud console. I'm going to click on create an app. I'm going to call this demo web components. Gonna make this a web component, and I'm just gonna say demo web. Let's fix my spelling. Components. There we go. All right, so our application is being generated as we speak. Just waiting for that process to be completed. All right, so we have our demo web components. Let's click and open up our application. And just like any other application, we can just drag and drop data into it. I'm just going to double click here and I'm going to just change this text to say this is a web component. All right, that's it. I am going to save and I'm going to deploy. And if you notice, web components only get deployed to one environment. And that is because you never actually consume a web component on a traditional web page, like via like a URL. These are consumed within other applications. So whenever you make a change to a web component and you deploy this change, this is going to reflect in all the applications that consume these web components. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to launch this web component. I'm going to then pull it into our application here, our demo app. So I'm going to scroll down to components, and I can see my web components. You drag it in the page, drop it. So to basically pull in a web component, all I need to do is provide the app ID. All right. So I'm going to go over here to my app builder tab in my Inhouz console. I'm just going to grab that asset ID and I'm going to paste it in here. And that's it. My web component gets automatically pulled in. All right. That's it for this video. It's a quick introduction to web components. In the next video on web components, we are going to talk about some ways to make web components dynamic. All right. And we're going to go through the attributes related to web components. Well, that's it for this one. All right. I'll see you in the next one.